Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. So, I wanted to come on here real quick and talk to you guys a little bit about Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Sean Puffy Combs, a little bit of Kanye, and I just want to know. I have some questions. So, before we get started, if you are watching this live, please hit the like button, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing. Okay. Just want to make sure. Because if you've ever been in these YouTube streets trying to make a YouTube video and you're doing it live, or if you're doing even if you're doing it where it's a pre-record and you get to the end of your video and it's always one of the best videos, and then you see you didn't hit go live, you're just like, or you didn't hit record. It's like when you go to college or when you're in high school and you write some paper, um, and then you didn't save it and the power went out, or your computer lost. You didn't bring your charger and your computer died and it lost. It's a devastating feeling. It's a devastating feeling. This too shall, pass. But you just like, oh my God, so I have to sit here a whole hour and do this again, or however many hours it may have taken you to complete that paper. But in this case, a video. Um, so I just wanted to, come on here and talk a little bit about, everybody, unless you under a rock or you don't watch TV or listen to the radio or know anyone else on earth, you may not have heard about P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs. I call him She Diddy. No, I call him Shitty Diddy. Or Shitty Combs or whatever. He's called Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Puff, whatever. I don't know. They say the reason he was called Puff is because when he was younger, he would puff his chest up when he would get angry. And so that's why they call him that. Um, But before I get started, like I said, guys, please hit that like button. It is almost my birthday. I am not close to my goal. I only have like, I think 400, or I'm close to 400. And I wanted to get 1,000 subscribers, but it's hard out here in these YouTube streets and people don't want to hit the like button and they don't want to subscribe. But that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race. So if you like the content you're consuming, please hit the like button. Please share my videos. Please comment. And please subscribe. Um, and first and foremost, let me say trigger warning. So some of the content that I'm going to be speaking about um, is sensitive and it could trigger people. What is that noise? Is something is happening? Hold, please. Y'all hear that? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, what did I do? Okay, I had to make some adjustments. Because it was like something was like, oh, let me move this over to. It was like tapping against the wall. It's so annoying. Oh, so I was saying trigger warning, trigger warning. Because I'm going to talk about things that aren't, that YouTube doesn't like. So I have to use code words like essay or a woman's been, ard. or her box, her baby box, her private area was violated, things like that. And certain words you can't use together. So I'll say human trafficking. I don't know if you can. I know they don't like the word trafficking at all, but I'll just say people being held against their will to coerced, drugged, or forced to engage in adult activities that could render you pregnant, or you could have an STI or STD or a baby. Things like that. But all of it's against your will. And just so people understand, trafficking is a form of human trafficking. My video will probably never get struck but at least if it does, this is at the very beginning of the video, so I could probably go in and take it, edit it, and then reload it or something like that. But nonetheless, so I'll have to use, different words. But these are some of the topics that I'm speaking about, and then some of them are violent. Excuse me, guys. Bear with me because I am. Listen, I got through the whole pandemic, or I don't even know if I can say that word. I know I can't say the C word. The C word that ends with vid, and has the letter 19 behind it. I currently have that. I thought I was doing better. Listen, before I turned on the camera, I was so much better. Anyways, I hadn't been able to sleep, and it's just, if you've ever had the C word that ends with vid, and it has that number 19 next to it, that VIRUS, it's what I have. And sidebar, my husband gave it to me. I'm like, he went to his niece's party. Kids, they always got something. They just pass around all they little, hood diseases. Anyways, he got me sick, and then have the nerve enough to tell me, "Can you put on a mask?" Or, excuse me, how dare you? The last time I checked, we supposed to be together through sickness and health. This is the sickness part, sir. You're healthy, so this is the sickness part. Stop it. Knock it all the way off. Play with me. I'll go all the way to the Zaza Hotel. Okay? I'll stay for a month. Don't try me. It's my birthday month too? Child. A few years ago, I did that though. Real talk. I sure did. He made me mad about something. I don't even know what it was. I probably was mad at the world because sometimes Leos do that. I'm a Leo. And even though we can seem like we big and bad, we are. We are. I ain't gonna lie. I don't play them type of games. I'm not anybody's punk. You're not gonna be able to bully me. That ain't never gonna happen. And I fight for everybody. I'm very loyal, so I expect that back. But when you have expectations in this life, in any type of relationship, it doesn't matter if it's your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your friend, your boyfriend, your baby daddy, whoever it is, your children, just understand you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. It's just what it is. It's not to say that's always going to happen, but people are who they are. They're not you. So it is what it is. But anyway, that particular year, I don't know who I was mad at, probably him and whoever else. I sure did. I went and I bought myself some new Louis Vuitton tennis shoes. I bought myself, what else did I buy from Louis Vuitton? I bought a few things. I remember the tennis shoes. I bought like 2 or 3 things from there. I might have bought some perfume, a keychain, a wallet. I don't know. I bought a whole bunch of stuff from there. And then I took myself, I had already what is it called? Reserved my little hotel, because Zaza Hotel, if you ever come to Texas, or if you ever come to Houston, Texas, it's a boutique hotel, but it is very nice. Very, very nice. It is not Holiday Inn, be very clear. Okay. It's very, very nice hotel. It's very expensive too. But it's the type of hotel that has like macaroons in the entry for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that. Because macaroons are like what, $4 or $5 for one. So if it's there for the guests to just have, it's lit. It's Litty City. But anyways, Yeah, I went there. I took myself to Ruth's Chris. My friends showed up. She was like, "You ain't going to Ruth's Chris by yourself." So we had a good time. So shout out to her. Shout out Gabby. Shout out to Gabby. But no, we had a great time. And of course, I still got whatever I got, when I got home. But I just was like, you know, in this life, sometimes you just gotta treat yourself. But also too, you gotta let people know, like, mm, okay, you want to do whatever it is you want to do. I don't. What's the right word? I'm going to be okay no matter what. She's gonna look out for her. You know what I mean? So, um, like I said, I don't know what was going on at the time, but I know I was mad about something. And then my husband was mad because he knows me and he knows that I love the Zaza Hotel. And so he had booked the Zaza Hotel and he did basically everything that I was gonna do, but it was a surprise. Well, sorry. So I got to do both. I got to do everything I wanted to do, and then he had to take me to the Saks Avenue anyway, in Chanel. So, anyways, yeah. I don't even know why I said that. How did I get down that rabbit hole? Hmm. Oh, I think I was talking about my birthday. Or maybe I was talking about Leo's. Who knows? But I wanted to come on here because, I'm not really, although I do have a YouTube channel and I do talk about celebrity news and the Housewives and reality shows and stuff like that. I do have a conscience, and I like I've told you guys 100 times, I am a social worker and a therapist, right? So I have my whole entire adult career has been working with people who are at a disadvantage, whether if they have intellectual disabilities, if it's the elderly, if it's children who've been abused or neglected, if it is sex crimes, all kinds of things, right? So I have a different purview, of, I think, on some level of our world and how people can just be very sinister, right? And then also, I try my best. I don't always get it right, but I try my best not to just drag people. Some people I've drug rather, like Kenya Moore with what she did with the revenge P and all that. Even though I can't say for sure that she did it. And again, everything on Chanel's reality is in my opinion. Everything here that you hear is in my opinion. I don't know. I wasn't there. Okay. And it's for entertainment purposes only and for entertainment. Oh, I just said that. Y'all gotta forgive me. Me and this COVID. Oh, I can't even say that. Scratch that. Me and this illness I'm still battling. I'm still battling it. So I don't have all my wits about me. But um so I tried, like with that situation with Kenya, it was hard for me to hold back. But then I made another video telling her how she can come back if she's who she is. I say that to say this. So I don't come on here with any intention of just being malicious to people just for the sake of it, just because I can. I don't do that. That's just not how I roll. I'm just not that type of person. Plus, I just think everything you do comes back to you. Karma is nothing but balance. So just understand, whatever you do to me, if it's hateful, if it's done out of malice, or it's revengeful, or whatever the case may be, I'm the daughter of the highest king. Be very clear. So even if I didn't see what you did, he saw it. That's my belief. It's coming back to you. Might come back to you through your children, might come back to you. You lost that really great job you prayed for and worked hard for. Might come back to you that someone burnt your house down or you get some illness. I don't know how it's going to come back. Karma is about balance. It is not necessarily about people having a hard time in life. It is just saying, if you do good, good is going to balance you out. If you don't do good, the bad is going to balance you out. That's all. So speaking of that, I've in these YouTube streets, I've learned a lot. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, I've listened to lots of content creators and lots of people outside of content creators, journalists and others, read books and stuff like that. And although I've not wanted to believe I'm just not one of those girls that just believe something because someone said it's true. You got to show me. I'm from Missouri. I'm not. I'm from Texas. But but I'm just that girl. You got to show me. I'm not going to just believe just because you said so. I just don't rock like that. So I've been hearing for years, things about Beyonce, who is from my hometown, Houston, Texas. And how supposedly her and Jay-Z's been getting a divorce, or they're going to get a divorce, or they've had an arranged marriage in the sense of like a business transaction type of thing. Or that, I've seen videos of her where people are like, she's on DRUGS because she's sitting at a game doing this or whatever. There could be a million reasons why she's doing that. Be very clear. And I've worked in psych hospitals, so I know what unstable or psychosis looks like. Okay. When you're no longer in control of your faculties. I know exactly what it looks like. I'm not a doctor, but I am a therapist. And we have to take, you have to get licensed to say you're a social worker. Just like you have to get a license to say you're a medical doctor. Just like you have to get a license to say you're an electrician. Okay. You have to go down there and you have to pass the test. Or an exam. You sit right in there with the rest of them. With the Dr. Jackies of the world. Remember her from one of my first videos? I'm like, you're so ignorant. Y'all so smart, but y'all just real dumb. Y'all not. I'm just like, we need to retest them. Some of the stuff that comes out of those people's mouths. But like I said, we all step in it. And we don't always get it right. So Dr. Jackie is one of the people that I think got it wrong. Her and Dr. Simone a million times, and definitely Dr. Heavenly. But Dr. Heavenly grew on me after she started doing the little YouTube stuff with Carlos King. She grew on me because she's really, really funny. I just don't like people who are malicious, and I think she's a malicious person. That's just my personal opinion. I think Dr. Jackie is stoic. I don't necessarily think she's malicious, though. And after last season, I do think Dr. Simone can be malicious because what she did to Quad about, I was there for you when your niece was unalived in your swimming pool in your house to just prove to the world that I'm your friend. That proved actually the opposite, Dr. Simone. A friend wouldn't do that. And y'all, you and your whole team was on a whole campaign about how Quad ain't your friend. But that's a friend? You need to really evaluate that word. Are you sure you know the definition? Because girl, let's be very clear. That's not what a friend would do. So this type of example is the reason why I'm just kind of like, are we sure they passed the right test? Did they take the right test? I've been in the state licensing exams, and every state is different. But those exam rooms, child, you can't have no pockets. You ain't having no jacket. You ain't having no water bottle. You ain't having nothing in there. Just you and whatever they'll give you a kind of little board that you can write on, but they give it to you. No earphones. They test your palm, make sure you ain't wrote nothing on your hand. And I thought initially that it was for like to have your like fingerprints, and it could be. I don't know. But my point is, the people ain't playing. So you have to have a license. So that's what I'm saying when I say what I know and I'm talking about when people are in psychosis. You could see it, But anyway, and then through life experiences and working with people, you'll be able to come very close. You'll understand the difference between someone who has, delusions and disorganized speech from someone who's depressed. Now, someone who's depressed could have disorganized speech because they could have a dual diagnosis. They could have, anyway, I'm sure you guys don't care about none of that. So anyways, we're going to get into this, and I'm going to start with Jay-Z. So what I was going to say, just another trigger warning. Before I get started, this video will talk about things that could trigger you. Everyone has trauma, all of us. But not everybody has the same trauma. But we all have trauma, and certain things can take you back. And we don't want to do that here on Chanel's Reality. And there will be some things that we talk about that have, that viewer discretion is advised. Okay. And then I want to say this one other thing. If you're ever in an abusive relationship, there's a number you can call. It's 988. You can call from any phone. and it's nationwide, and it's you can call it 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you need help with, if you're depressed and you're thinking you want to do something to yourself, hurt yourself in any way, or anyone else, then you can also call that number. Okay. And it could be from any phone, even a pay phone. It doesn't even matter. You call that number, someone will be there. So I just want to put that out there, that you don't have to stay in relationships that are harmful to you psychologically, emotionally, physically, or otherwise. And even if you're a child, if like you're a teen and something's happening in your home, you can still call that number. Or you can text it. So I just want people to know that there is help out there. So I'm gonna jump into it. There's a guy that I like. He is on he's on YouTube. He's another content creator. His name is Sloan. And I just want him to give you guys kind of like bring you up to up to date if you haven't or didn't know this information about Jay-Z. Which one is this one? I hope I have the right one. No, that's not the right one. Is this one? No, that's not it either. Oh, let's see. Can I get to this one? I don't know. I might not be able to get this one. Okay. What's this one? Let me see. Oh, that's because this one's in Safari. Let's see. I wonder. Give me 1 second, guys. Because all of my little all of my tabs. Let's see if I can paste it in here. Oh, please. So I don't know. Let me make sure you guys could hear that. Because I didn't select it. Huh. I'm going to try to play this one and we'll see if this one works. So look, let me go down here because I don't think that one is working. I think I'm going to have to re-pull it up. Share screen. Okay.
Are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right? Has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Beyonce has broken her silence as she has finally responded to Diddy leaking the secret tapes of her and Jay-Z.
You're going to have more than one documentary, but there's going to be like one major documentary, and then that's going to be cause for more conversation for months after that. But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past.
Jay-Z and Diddy, two titans of the music industry, have shared a close and long-standing friendship that spans decades. Over the years, they have collaborated on numerous projects, supported each other's business ventures, and publicly praised one another's contributions to the music world. As Diddy, currently facing legal troubles of his own, is alleged to possess sensitive videos and information regarding Jay-Z.
Apparently, during a Homeland Security raid on Diddy's properties, some rather intriguing discoveries were made, including compromising footage featuring numerous beloved celebrities caught in scandalous situations.
Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs, has been embroiled in a series of legal challenges in recent months. From business disputes to allegations of misconduct, Jay-Z, the possibility of being blackmailed by someone he considered a friend and ally is undoubtedly distressing. Given the close ties between Jay-Z and Diddy, any attempt to exploit private information could have far-reaching implications for both parties and the wider entertainment industry.
Are things ever normal in the world of celebs? Diddy's in big trouble, with rumors about wild videos of Jay-Z and Beyonce at one of his parties. People think there might be more revenge stuff going on because Diddy's had beef with some big names.
Sources say Beyonce's team is ready to pull the plug, while Jay-Z's crew is claiming he's had enough. Honestly.
Now listen, I don't know about all that. I don't know if I don't know if I could say Beyonce is ready to pull the plug or that Beyonce will ever pull the plug. because I'm not there. I don't know them people, to be completely honest. But people say a lot of things that doesn't make it true. You know what I mean? And people say things in many cases just for likes and clicks. So if they can get you, interested in some malarkey, things that may or may not be true, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to put their little clickbait out there. But I do believe, why can't I find this video I'm looking for? Hold on. I don't want to stop sharing. Maybe this isn't the right one. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if it lets me put this one in here. Sometimes YouTube be playing. I don't know exactly where it is. Hold on, let me mute this real quick. Okay, well, that one's good. And then the last one. It's slow. This one. Okay. Sorry, guys. So let's get back to what the video was talking to us about. I think that's this one. Yeah. So I mean, I want you guys to chime down in the comments and tell me what you guys think, but he's seen. Oh, is this the right? Maybe this one isn't the right one. Okay, this is the one that I wanted you guys to hear, because we'll go back to that one, because the first one is, to me, it is basically saying that Diddy's done all these things. The part that I started you guys at, and we'll go back to some other different interesting parts in that video, but and I'll put the link, because that's another content creators, like a snippet that they put together of stuff, and I just thought it was good information that kind of gave me some like, okay, maybe, I'm not sure, but let me keep looking, type of thing. And again, this is all alleged, and in my opinion, or the opinions of these people, a video that I'm utilizing at the moment. But this one is from a guy who looks, I don't know if you guys watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey, but Teresa Giudice or Giudice, her daughter, her oldest daughter's name is Gia. I swear, this guy, the owner of this content creator, Sloan, I'm like, Gia's his sister. They look exactly alike to me. But anyways, so I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. Oh, let's see. Okay. So let's take a listen.
Years ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z.
Witnesses say that Jay-Z allegedly plunged a knife into Rivera's stomach and smashed a bottle over his brother's head before running out of the club.
I saw Unn laying on the ground and just, like shouting like Jay-Z stabbed me. And I'm like, what? Like,
was Jay-Z the one that actually stabbed you?
What y'all think? Oh, and let me make sure before I get far down in this rabbit hole that y'all could actually hear me. But this one is from a guy who looks, I don't know if you guys watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Let's see. Okay. Let's take a listen.
Years ago, police here at
Good.
Midtown.
Just want to make sure. So again, chime down in the comments. What do you think of that? Because what I have come to realize, allegedly, from what's come to the light about Diddy. Well, okay, let me just back up. So what I know for sure is that men in this country, and I would argue around the world, are typically the people who are violent. It's just a fact. Just is what it is. Like I said before, if that wasn't the case, why are there no laws for, why is there no Violence Against Men Act? Ask yourself that. And I'm not saying that there aren't violent men in relationships with other men, or, hold on one second. Let me read this real quick. What is it? Sorry about that. So as I was saying, my husband's making sure I'm still alive. I'm joking. No, but that was him calling me like, what's happening? Oh God, I lost my train of thought. I was saying, that me saying that men are typically the perpetrators of violence in relationships is just a fact. And I said something to the effect of, why is there no Violence Against Men Act? I wanted to note that that is not me saying that there aren't men who aren't violent in relationships with other men, right? So obviously there can be same-sex relationships where both people are violent, or both people are of the same sex and violence is happening specifically with men. But it happens with men and women. What I'm saying is, statistically, worldwide, not just, it doesn't have a zip code, it doesn't have a tax bracket, it doesn't have a color, it doesn't have a feature. No, violence against women is just a fact. It's just always been. It just is what it is. And I'm not talking about, and I'm not referring to that one family or your one auntie who beats on her husband. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying statistically, 1 in 4 women will be violated. Be very clear. That is just a fact. So if there are 4 people listening to this, one of those 4 are going to encounter violence at the hands of what they call now an intimate partner, because they want to include, which they should, same-sex relationships, right? But it's just, even the ones that get reported. Think about it like this. We're talking about it right now, right? How many people are still out there trolling Cassie after they saw the video? I believe victims. Like I told you, I worked in, sex crimes and crimes against all kinds of people, elderly, children, whatever. So I know the perpetrators can look exactly like the victims. Didn't P. Diddy put something on his Instagram? I think I took a picture of it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I hope I took a picture of it. I think I did. He put, enough is enough. This is after Cassie filed her lawsuit. He says, this is what Sean Diddy, Shitty P. Combs said. He says, enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Excuse me? It's laughable. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. All of these are buzzwords. And be very clear. This man didn't write this. Yep, I said it. He didn't. Someone with an actual college degree wrote this. And that's no shade towards people that don't have a college degree. I'm saying based on that non-apology that he gave a few days later after the video was released by CNN, that's what let me know you didn't write this. Because an intelligent person can string together a sentence and can give you a sincere apology if they're smart and educated and intelligent. He can't. And maybe he could have, but he clearly is on something or has been allegedly on some things according to her lawsuit. He didn't come out after that and say, no, I didn't do none of those things. He came out and said the opposite. So I'm going to go with what he said out of his mouth. He was messed up. It was a dark place, whatever. Okay, bro. Anyways, he also says, let me be absolutely clear. So he's like making a declaration. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. Do you really think P. Diddy uses words like alleged? No. Lawyers and people who don't want to get sued use words like alleged because it's a wordplay. They know it's why the Constitution is that the Constitution knows the penal code that says everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. I say apply that to your job too. This is sidebar. Understand anything you say and do, anything you type on your computer or on your work phone or say on your work phone can and will be used against you when they're ready to fire you. So just be very clear. It is not private. Anyway. And P. Diddy knows that. You know how I know he knows that? Because he allegedly paid that hotel $50,000 or somebody at the hotel $50,000. But you're on here talking about you didn't do anything. You don't remember that? Of course you remember it. But you've been playing in people's faces for what seems like 20 plus years at this point. Because I can promise you Cassie wasn't the first person. And she ain't the last person. Be clear. And he didn't allegedly only do this to females. I will fight for my family and I will fight for the truth. Really? Have y'all seen him put up a fight yet? After Cassie, after that video was released? I ain't seen no fight. What I saw was a man, this is just my opinion. I don't know because I wasn't there. Okay. I saw a man being forced. What did Dave Chappelle say in that video? Like, you mean like slavery forced? Yes, like that. That's what I mean. Forced. Nobody who is allegedly worth $900 million is going to go onto the television and not put up a fight. Someone worth $900 million that goes on television and says, or on his Instagram, I'm sorry, on social media, and apologizes in the most insincere way possible, according to my opinion. That person, in my opinion, is guilty because they're being forced. So to me, what that said to me is, one, he's not sorry. I can tell you that right now. He is not sorry. No, he's not. Because if you break down his apology, all the things he said in there, it's so difficult for when you have to look back at everything he said in there was about him. If you're apologizing, you start with, I should not have. I regret. I'm sorry for the things I did to you. You don't talk anything about why you did those things. It's not relevant. Because honestly, I'm not even going to get into it about it, but really, if you hurt someone's feelings, it doesn't even have to be a physical attack. If you hurt someone's feelings, then your intention doesn't matter. You cannot intend to hurt someone's feelings all day long. It doesn't take away the fact that their feelings are hurt. So it doesn't matter. So they don't need you to tell them you didn't intend to. Now, for a decent human being, that does go somewhere, but it goes absolutely nowhere when you have a 20 plus year history of I won't say that word, of physically attacking people. It holds no merit. it's about it's about as stable as me holding my hand open like this and asking someone asking me to hold a gallon of water in my palm. It's not going to work. It's not. So someone who has $900 million, what that tells me is that person has, unless they inherited it some kind of way like that, they are responsible for a lot. Nobody walking around with, and let me be clear, I'm not talking about $900 million liquid cash. You have almost $1 billion allegedly in assets and money and property and whatever else, boats and whatever, right? That means you must have a few companies or investors and things like that. And guess what? Investors probably are going to have a stake in whatever it is your business or companies are. And if it's a publicly traded company, like I'm sure Revolt and all those other magazines, his company and all that, they have shareholders. They have people you have to answer to. People say, oh, I'm going to open my own business and I'll be my own boss. Yeah, but you still got to answer to your clients. And it doesn't even matter if you're a prostitute. Be clear. You still have a client or a client base. You're not going to stay in business if you don't. So it's no different. You still have someone to report to. It is what it is. So the people that he has to report to, that he doesn't want to claim he has to report to, those people who knew all of what he was doing, and some of the ones that didn't know, but they have a stake in his company and they do not want the blowback of all of the stuff that he's gotten. So they said, we can help you salvage this, but you better take your stuff out there and you better go and apologize immediately. That's what they told him. This man has been able to get away with the things he's been able to get away with for as long as he's been able to get away with them because he's protected. He's, in my opinion, adjacent to people who, listen, what I know for sure is money does not buy you happiness. Happiness depends on happenings. So something happens, that means you can be happy. Something you like happens, you can be happy. Something different happens, you won't be. When I say different, meaning something that is not in your favor or that you don't like or you feel it's unfair, you won't be happy. Right? So he wants to make sure he keeps those people happy. And this is the thing. He's gotten away with, because they've shown him, the people who, in my opinion, have said, you better go out there and apologize because all of this is going to blow back on us and then we're going to lose money. We ain't doing that. Those people say, you better go try to fix it because we are not going to support you. And they are dropping him like flies from what I could tell. What did I say about karma at the beginning of this video? I'm not saying I don't think karma is about revenge, right? I think karma is about balance. What you put out will return. It is a guarantee. It just may not return to you the same way you think it will. But why would Jeffrey Epstein and Weinstein and all these Bill Cosbys of the world, all these people continue, and P. Diddy's, and from what I could tell, Jay-Z's of the world, why would they continue to do it? Because they continue to get away with it. And this is the reason that they would continue to believe they're going to get away with it, is because they do. Because like I was saying earlier, money doesn't buy you happiness. It buys you options. Okay? Right? So you make $100K a year. You and your husband, y'all make $200K a year. Guess what option that buys you? Maybe a $400,000 house and a $80,000, Porsche, or 2.5 kids, or no kids and no Porsche, and a $300,000 house and plenty of vacations, right? Even the pay scale at your job buys you options. The higher you on that pay scale, the more options you have. Guess what? If you higher on that pay scale, you have the option to not even be asked to take a drug test. Be clear. You at the bottom of that pay hole, they're probably going to ask you to take a drug test because you can't buy that option that your money, the area of your money doesn't allow for that. So you don't get that option. Okay. You get an hourly option. You get you don't even get to pick your schedule option. You don't get to pick your schedule. You don't get to pick your pay. You don't get to pick the days you come in, what time you get off. You don't get to pick your holidays. You might not even get a holiday. You might not even get medical benefits. And even then, still options are certain options. You move higher up on that chain, your options get larger and larger and larger. I can't say for sure what happened in that club with Sean and J-Lo that night. We're going to go over that too. But I can promise you, because of P. Diddy's options, he was able to get himself out of that situation. But I don't even think it only boils down to him. Because to get to that level, he had to have been dealing with the people with a whole bunch, way more options than him. When have y'all ever really heard of a brown person, a brown man in his, I'm going to say at that time, he had to be at least in his 30s, mid-30s probably. When have y'all ever heard of him having a pow-pow and supposedly using his pow-pow to pew-pew someone in the face and or something is buzzing again. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. So the whatever starts again. But anyways, because I'm sure he called some people. He probably didn't even have to call the people. They probably called him. Like, what happened? Okay, this is the plan. I don't know. I wasn't there. Just my opinion. So, getting back to Mr. Jay-Z, at the beginning of Sloan's video, he said that he shows a picture of Jay-Z in a mugshot. Because after he allegedly used a sharp object and injected it into a person's body. I try to be very careful with my words. Allegedly. He was arraigned, brought into court, and then I think got like a $50,000 bail. But let me take a listen here really quickly because I think he goes over it. 1 second.
Jay-Z has been a crook for a long time. He grew up in a toxic environment, and at the age of 12, he shot his own brother. Into adulthood, he got into even more trouble. This is a dangerous man, and the truth needs to be told. So let's get into it. Here's a scan of Jay-Z's mugshot profile, and as you can see, that is Jay-Z in the mugshot, and he doesn't look happy.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night.
So this all went down at the Kit Kat Club, which is no longer around, but it was the hot spot in New York, and it became a crime scene.
Once inside, he had a confrontation with record producer Lance Rivera. Cops say the argument heated up during a party celebrating a new release by rapper Q-Tip. Jay-Z and his crew surrounded the 33-year-old Rivera and his 29-year-old brother Corey. Witnesses say that Jay-Z allegedly plunged a knife into Rivera's stomach and smashed a bottle over his brother's head before running out of the club.
So everybody at the scene clearly knew that Jay-Z was involved. And he was even quoted in court saying, "I stabbed Lance Rivera." Jay-Z did end up turning himself in. He had a bail of $50,000, which he was able to pay. So he got out a few hours later. A press conference with his lawyers labeled Jay-Z as an innocent man. Quote, "To think that this guy, who is as gentle as can be, has anything to do with this is crazy." End quote. And I don't know what's going on with.
Can you take it? So this man that just was arraigned, to think that this gentle man, that sounds gentle? That don't sound gentle to me. Let's keep listening.
Lance, but he actually came out and stated that Jay-Z, in fact, did not stab him. Lance recalls that night and claims that he was surrounded by 10 knives, a bunch of guys with all these knives in the club. The reporter asked him, "Was Jay-Z the one who stabbed you?" He laughs before responding, "No, Jay-Z was not the guy that actually stabbed me that night." The executive clarifies that they did have a conversation right before getting hit in the head with a champagne bottle, so it probably was one of Jay-Z's people.
Was Jay-Z the one that actually stabbed you?
No, Jay-Z was not the guy who actually stabbed me that night.
But Jay-Z was there when you got stabbed. Was
yeah,
actually in front of you when you got stabbed.
it was like, yeah, me and Jay-Z had a conversation while, right before I got hit in the head with a champagne bottle, and it was a brief conversation, and I was looking at him like, "What are you talking about?" And you the money up right now.
So
What y'all think? I didn't want to believe it. But let's see what Sloan thinks.
Lance is claiming that Jay-Z was, in fact, not the guy that stabbed him, but part of me believes that maybe if Jay-Z stabbed him, like, wouldn't you listen to anything that he says if you survive? I feel like if he got stabbed by this guy and he threatens him that he'll make it a lot worse if he blames Jay-Z, then he probably will go with the story that, Jay-Z didn't do it. But I kind of believe that he did, especially because there was a witness who claims that when Lance was on the ground, he kept repeating that Jay-Z had stabbed him.
Rapper packs. It was every rapper probably in New York City and beyond was in there, including Jay. I saw Jay coming out scowling, crazy look on his face. In the back, like towards where the bar area was, I saw Unland on the ground and just, like shouting like Jay-Z stabbed me. And I'm like, what? Like, what is he saying right now? I'm with two of my homegirls and he's like, Jay-Z stabbed me, Jay-Z stabbed me. So I'm like, yo, stop saying that. Like, I'm like trying to get him to chill.
So if this witness says, you know what, you probably shouldn't be saying that, she probably knows how dangerous Jay-Z can be.
Child, what y'all think? This is why, and again, all this is alleged, in my opinion, and in his opinion, but he did get taken to jail and later released on $50,000 bond. So y'all leave comments below and let me know what y'all think. Why do I have this one up? I'm gonna share this one. I don't know why I have this one up, but for some reason I do. Let me see. I don't remember. Because I pulled up a lot of information. Let's see.
They call them fun boys. They'll say, we got to have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad.
Whoa.
Like,
sidebar, I didn't know about this, but let's just if y'all haven't heard about this, and I Used to love me some Busta Rhymes, not because I thought he was cute or anything like that, but I don't know. He just had swag. Because I always thought he was unattractive. But then I found this. I was like, whoa. So this guy is a bodyguard of Sean, or was a bodyguard, I believe, of Shitty Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs. So let's just hear what he said about Busta Rhymes.
What? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope.
So when I walk across the street to the crowd, I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just holding it.
Whoa.
So I look, and I see this big chain that said flip mode.
Oh. Whoa.
Just diamonds iced out.
What?
I look at the chain and I know what flip mode is. So I look up. Now all this happening in split seconds. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes?
Ever try to phone me? Hit you with no delays to what you saying, yo. Should have with that 9 milli, but together, yo. Yeah, I can hit better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes, yo.
Not Busta Rhymes getting exposed as a super zest monster.
Hold
and
on.
listen, those are his.
Hold on. First of all, 50 Cent is a whole he's shady booth. He literally has a PhD from Penn University. Real talk. But was it Busta Rhymes on a song, a rap song with Eminem? And I'm sorry, I told you I have the C word, part 19. Were they on a rap song together? This and Ja Rule? I remember that. But okay, let's carry on.
His bodyguard's words, not mine.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest mom.
Apparently, Busta Rhymes is going viral after a former bodyguard spilled the beans, claiming Busta made some seriously strange requests involving young men.
So wait, I thought this was P. Diddy's bodyguard. This was Busta Rhymes' bodyguard. Sorry, y'all. Okay, let me get to where I wanted to get to. It wasn't about Busta, because it's about Busta Rhymes. Maybe I pulled up the wrong video, but I think this is the right video. Hold on. Oh, Orlando Bloom. Okay, so I did not know who Orlando Bloom was until I found out who Jaguar Wright was. Child. Because listen, Jaguar Wright, she got balls of steel, or this might be protected too. Because her and Gene Deal, child. Listen, they clearly don't. The fucks that they supposed to have, they gives none of them. They are fresh out of fucks to give about anybody coming for them. Just saying. But Orlando Brown or Blue, no, is it Brown? Orlando Brown. I found out who he was because he was doing an interview with Jaguar Wright, and they were talking about P. Diddy and everything. And I think, again, I didn't know all of this stuff about P. Diddy. I didn't know any of this. Because listen, I just started my YouTube, and became a content creator in March. So I just wasn't, in these YouTube streets like that, honey. But, now that I am, people send you all kinds of stuff, all kinds of information. You can't just run with everything you hear. That's how you end up in a whole lawsuit. But, sorry, guys. I'm struggling. I'm going to be on here for a little bit because I got some more stuff to show y'all. But just pray with me. Listen, just pray with me. So Orlando Brown was on a show called That's So Raven. I believe that was the name of the show, with Raven Simone for some years on the Disney Channel. Right. Yeah, she was on the Disney Channel. And how he looks now, I can see it, but how he looks now and how he looked 15, 20 years ago when he was on the Raven Simone, That's Our Raven show, is completely different to me. But I didn't even know who he was. So this part, anytime I ever want to laugh if I'm angry or something, this clip, listen, takes me out every single time. So he's giving a interview to this Capone news. So let's see. and he's impersonating Diddy. This is what I laugh about.
Mainly because it's more dangerous
I mean,
for rappers now.
I mean,
to it.
I just,
it might not even be on this one.
I'll give you this.
Sorry, guys.
You can willingly turn woman
Whoa.
and have a bag, or you can do what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can willingly turn trans, or you can get in trouble and go to jail and get up, and they do it to you forcefully because you didn't know what to do.
Once dismissed as mere jokes, Orlando's comments about Diddy are now gaining serious attention amidst recent troubling accusations against the rapper. What was once seen as eccentric speculation about Diddy's personal life is being revisited in a new light. The shift in perception comes after explosive headlines about Diddy's alleged crimes surfaced last November. Cam Capone quickly brought Orlando back for another interview on their channel,
it's not on
where
here.
they revisited Orlando.
So, what else did I want to say about Jay-Z? So, there's more to be said about Jay-Z, but let me just go back to this one. Hold on. Stop sharing. Let me share this one again. Because I think there's some more on this one I want you guys to hear.
It's not hard to see why the rumors are flying. Just look at them. Beyonce seems like she's checked out, you know? It's like they're more like buddies than a couple. Hey, how come this lady has a mountain of Grammys but never snags Album of the Year? Talk about dropping hints.
Recently, Homeland Security even raided his place. And now there are rumors about some embarrassing videos showing up. This whole mess is making things awkward between Diddy and Jay-Z and the rest of the entertainment world.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. Some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category.
This
Wait a minute.
Ready?
Okay, let's go.
Get your tickets.
Attempting to extricate himself from
Let's
trouble
do the
while
Jaguar right
simultaneously
here.
seeking revenge on Jay-Z.
Sean Combs to finally be honest about some things that he hasn't been honest about, which could.
Rumors circulating suggest that Diddy harbors significant resentment towards Jay-Z for what he perceives as abandonment during the initial wave of legal challenges.
Beyonce's alleged involvement adds more drama, with rumors suggesting she's behind these scandals to protect her reputation. The story is full of betrayal, manipulation, and lots of speculation about what celebrity relationships are really like.
Beyonce and Jay-Z stepped out on the red carpet together, making it official in front of the world. Boom. So we're in 2000.
I have to say this. I did for a while. I just didn't really understand. I never understood, but it's because I don't understand. I didn't notice at the time that Beyonce was a Virgo because I've never really been the hugest Beyonce fan. Love her music, and I think she's a great entertainer, but I've just never, I don't know. It's something about her, not her the person, but just her. Yeah, her the person. It just doesn't come across authentic to me, in my opinion. And think about it too. I'm not saying it because I promise you I'm not a hater. I don't hate on nobody. I don't have no reason to hate. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the baddest. Be very clear. And that's not me saying that I think I look bad, the best, I'm sorry, or better than anyone else, or that I'm shaped the best, or any of those things. I just have high self-esteem. It just is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. It just is what it is. But listen, I can be cordial. I can't be phony. So I think that's what it is. I think that's the inauthentic part of Beyonce. That's the thing that bothers me with her, is that it registers as phony. Because think about it. I'm not the person saying that any of these famous people or wealthy people need to or have to or should share their personal lives with us. I don't think that they're required to do none of that, personally. But whatever it is you're going to share, I just say be honest about it or be authentic about it. It just doesn't read to me as authentic. It reads as phony because she never to me really goes and talks about things that are really bothering her or things that seem that a normal person, it would bother them, that they would want to say something. So for example, and I know people are going to say, oh, well, she did this many documentaries when she got pregnant, this, that, and the third. And it's weird because in that documentary, the first one she did, I thought, that's just a little, like her telling us she's about to go make love to her husband. that's the kind of overshare. That's the kind of stuff you should probably be like, you know what, I'm gonna keep that to myself. But she shares that, but doesn't want to share she's engaged. Doesn't even want to share that she's in a relationship for years. But you're gonna go and make a documentary and say you about to go make love to your husband. It's just bizarre. It just is. It doesn't. Again, it does. If it doesn't add up, it to me, there's a lie somewhere. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know if she's in love with him. If he bought her from her daddy's company, whatever. I don't know that. I don't know. Beyonce could be exactly who she, to me, portrays herself to be, but I don't see that for me. It just feels very robotic. It feels the biggest tell to me is that whenever I understand wanting to control the narrative about your life. I get it, especially as a public life, because people, you sit next to somebody and you got to be having sex with them, especially if you're in the public eye, right? So we all know how that works. Even if you weren't in the public eye, if you're at public school and you're sitting next to a boy, maybe y'all might have been kissing. So I get that part of it. But what I don't get is you're going to choose a profession that's going to make you the most visible, and then ensue on a path to make you the most popular, well-known, famous person for the most part on planet Earth, besides like maybe, Prince whoever and or Rihanna and who else? I'm trying to think of somebody else that's really, really, really famous that everybody would know. Michael Jackson or somebody like that, right? Oprah Winfrey. If you embark on that, but then you're like, no cameras, or you want to control every aspect of everything anyone writes about you or says about you, then it rings phony to me. Because why are you choosing a profession where you want everybody to see you, watch you, buy your ticket, buy tickets to your show, buy your music, buy really into you, but then you want them only to buy into the art, but you are the art. It doesn't make any sense. So I could understand if you're an artist, right? In the traditional sense, you making paintings or whatever it is that your craft is. But I can make the leap from, okay, this is art. Someone's going to buy this art from me and they're going to take it home, and I'm probably never going to see them again. I may never even meet them. All they know is that I'm an artist and I drew this, whatever, right? Or I made this, whatever it is. That makes sense. You don't have to know me as a person to like my art. But if you're an entertainer, you're selling. So you are the artist. That's why they're called the artist. You are selling you. But we can't ask you nothing. It doesn't make any sense. You're selling you, but she wants us to buy into Beyonce, the entertainer. But she wants us to completely separate her work, which is being an entertainer and an artist, and her art from her. If you want to do that, you might want to go back to the 1970s, 80s, and 90s when they were making a music video for everything, and they didn't have social media, and you had to watch it on MTV or BET or whatever, 106 apart. But even then, you still had to come out and answer some questions and things like that. With her, and I understand it on some level. I do understand on a humanistic level, you have to have something for yourself, right? So for her, it's my husband, my family, my kids, right? Okay, that's fine. But then stop acting like you want the world to love you and you want everybody to be in your beehive when you really don't want these people in your business like that. I'm not knocking her for wanting to protect her peace and not have to give everything of herself to the world. I think that's fine. But it just doesn't come across as genuine to say, I'm going to date this guy for, let's say, 6 years, and I'm going to act like we're not even in a relationship. I'm going to make songs with this man, and I'm going to act like I'm his girlfriend in all the songs. I'm going to even say I am, okay? I'm going to make sure I'm his girlfriend in these, different videos and whatnot, but I'm not going to say we're in a relationship. And then I'm going to tell the people when I go into whatever talk show, they can't ask me about him. And if they do, I'm never coming back. It's crazy. But then I'm going to make a documentary and say I'm about to go make love with my husband. That to me is way more private. It's something that I think we don't need to know. That to me is sacred. That to me is intimate. That makes sense to me. Your wedding, intimate. Your anniversaries, your kids, whatever. All of those things, I 100% agree. Those things are intimate, and we don't need to be in your business like that. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, there's a lie somewhere. So which way do you want to have it? You want to tell us that you want to, on your documentary, that you want to go make love to your husband, and that's what you're about to go do. But we can't ask you that if y'all even in a relationship, because you can't confirm that, because you won't want people in your business. Why is that if you telling us you about to go? It's ludicrous. It's gaslighting. Stop it. So again, I can be cordial. I can't be phony. And that's why with Beyonce, it just comes across as phony. And that's the other problem. That's part of the reason I'm making this video, because I'm like, I didn't know all these things were happening with P. Diddy for the past 25 years or however long he's been violating people, especially women, since college, since Hampton, or was it Hampton University he went to? He's been apparently doing this since then. But my thing is, so I just got caught up. I didn't know anything about him and Cassie and anything like that. So I didn't know. Hey, Shay. She says, hey, girl, I love when I wake up, but I can't go to sleep in your life. Listen, I got the vid over here, the thing that starts with a co, and I haven't been feeling well. I've been down for the count, and my husband gave it to me. He in there sleeping soundly. Anyway, sidebar. But yeah, so it doesn't ring true. And I'm like, girl, I need you to pick a lane and stay in it. Just stay in your lane. Yeah, you can hear me. You say I sound congested. I'm not feeling well. But I feel much better than I have been feeling last night, yesterday, and the day before. So it's progress. So it's just kind of like, so now when I heard, sometimes I feel like this was last year. Was it the end of no, it was either last year. I think it was last year. Sometime last year, one of Beyonce's bodyguards that had been her bodyguard for a while went on Twitter or his Instagram or something. He went on social media and he was like, yeah, Beyonce's on drugs, she's on drugs, and you keep her that way, and this, that, and the third. And he said something about y'all worship who y'all worship. And when he said that, I was like, what is he talking about? It didn't really, it's one of those things that kind of just goes in your brain, but it's almost an unconscious thing. But you heard it, but it was unconscious, right? So I heard it and I was just like, oh, that's weird. And I was like, I just don't. Him saying, yeah, Beyonce was drugs. It just felt like it. Again, it felt like it doesn't seem natural what you're saying, sir. It just doesn't fit, and only because, from what I could see of her, she just seems together. She does. I've never, aside of her swaying or whatever it is at the basketball games, I've never really seen her just not. I've never seen her really kind of off her game, if that makes sense. That being said, I know that there are people who are functioning addicts. I'm not saying Beyonce is one, so let's be very clear. I don't know that lady. I ain't never met her. I ain't never been in her life. I ain't never even been to a concert. So therefore, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But her bodyguard said that, and I'm just like, oh man, that's. And again, I'm like, where are people getting all these audacities? Did they buy our audacities on sale? I can't. Like, how are you saying such strong allegations about someone who has a whole bunch of power and a whole bunch of money, and I'm sure an army of lawyers to come for you? So you must got some on tape. You must have it time stamped and in 3 locations, okay? Because I don't understand how he's making these, allegations about her or him. But then I hear Jaguar Wright, which again, I don't know her, never met her, I wasn't there. So I don't know if it's true. But then she goes on there and she's just like, y'all talking about, what she say? Y'all talk about free Britney. We need to free Beyonce. That's what she said. That's what Jaguar Wright said. She said, you need to free Beyonce. And then she said, and I promise y'all, this really took me out. She was like, She is not his wife. She is his employee. I died. It's like I died and I came back to life. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So clearly they're still giving out audacities because Jaguar Wright has the audacity to say that, I guess. I don't know. But I was like, whoa. I'm just like, who are these people? And where has Jaguar Wright been all of this time? And where has Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who has all these audacities talking about this lady is on drugs and that he keeps her that way? Like, you accusing two really powerful people of doing illegal acts. That's very, very, very dangerous. Especially considering what I just showed y'all, that Jay-Z was arraigned for allegedly, he was charged with what's the right word? Using a sharp object to impale another person. That's what he was charged with. That's what he got let out on bail for $50,000. That happened. That is a fact. So, even though the guy, I just played it for you, he says, no, he wasn't the one that did it to me. But I mean, we heard about Shine. Didn't Shine go to prison for what, 10 years? And then got, what is it called? He got exported. That's not the right word. My brain is not, it's got the vid-19 going on. But he got deported. That's the word. He got deported back to whatever country he's from. I forget what country it is, but I think it's the country with that big blue sink hole that you could like dive in. I think it's that country, but I'm not 100% certain about that. But he's like a diplomat or something. He's some sort of like his dad or somebody is some politician. So now he's into politics. That's the Shine guy, not the Beyonce bodyguard guy. Shay B says, I was just going to say the same thing about Jag. She doesn't hold back. She don't. Listen, I don't know where these people get these audacities, but clearly they are on sale in 2024. But oh God, what is his name? What's the little short guy named with the perm? He's a comedian, Cat Williams. Listen. Cat Williams got down to the internet. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, he went on whose show was it? Shannon Sharp. I think it's called, what is it called? Put in the comments if you know what it's called. It's Club Shay Shay, I think is what it's called. He went down to Club Shay Shay and he said, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, 2024 is going to be the year of the reckoning. I feel like he even mentioned P. Diddy. I don't know if he mentioned Jay-Z. I know he mentioned P. Diddy. He was basically like, it's all coming down. I'm like, is he a psychic? Because I got a whole psychic on here. I'm going to play Sloan Bell in a minute because what she had to say about Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's a lot. But let's take another listen to some of this other stuff that they had to say about Beyonce and Jay-Z.
6, and Beyonce drops her bombshell Bidet album. None other than Jay-Z himself, featuring on tracks like Deja Vu and Upgrade You. Fast forward to November 2006. Jay-Z's in the spotlight with his Kingdom Come album, featuring a little something from Beyonce on Hollywood. But hold on to your hats. April 4th, 2008 marks a major milestone. Beyonce and Jay-Z tie the knot in a super hush-hush ceremony. They decked out Jay-Z's swanky Manhattan pad with 70,000 orchids from Thailand. She's all about knowing yourself before you can share your life with someone else. Wise words, Queen Bey. In August 2008, he finally let slip about their matching tattoos I bore, representing their birthdays and wedding date.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are having problems, and people are saying they might split up. Beyonce's cousin even mentioned that she thought about it back in 2016. Remember the drama in 2014 when Beyonce's sister fought with Jay-Z in an elevator? People thought Jay-Z was cheating.
And the iconic, "He better call Becky with the good hair." And let's talk about this Becky situation. Turns out it's not just one woman, but more like a nickname for all the ladies. She found out about Jay-Z's affair, but somehow they managed to patch things up. But hold on to your hats, because Uncle Ron, a former bodyguard,
dog will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up. I'm here today. And what I got to say, I'm gonna say it. So don't make idle threats to me.
He's claiming Jay-Z and Beyonce secretly schemed to mess with R&B artist Carrie Hilson's career.
Carrie Hilson's career. Because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody financially to get to the top, to become billionaires.
Jaguar jumps into the mix, calling out Jay-Z for allegedly having Beyonce drugged up.
Why has Jay-Z been coming up with you lately?
Because he's a monster.
And you know how she's dropped hints about Jay being a master manipulator? Well, if these rumors have some truth to them, it wouldn't be all that shocking. And just when you think the drama couldn't get any juicier, he's suggesting there's more to her than meets the eye, hinting at some darker stuff lurking beneath her.
Child. All right.
Flawless facade. Terrence Howard's gaze at Beyonce during that performance, it was like he was ready to write her a love song.
Various allegations and legal battles involving P. Diddy, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and others. It's important to approach these kinds of situations with a critical eye and to remember that accusations are just that until proven in a court of law.
Again, everything said on Chanel's reality is alleged and in my opinion, and trigger warning, because we're going to be discussing things that are hard to hear, hard to watch, and are, viewer discretion is advised. And again, I want to say this too. If you are in any type of relationship where you are being physically attacked, emotionally, psychologically attacked, violently attacked, there is help. You can always dial 988. You could also text 988 from any phone at any location, 365 days a year, 24/7, 7 days a week, or that's 24/7. But anyways, there's help out there. So, and also too, I want to say this as it relates to the crimes that P. Diddy has been sued about, Cassie, the physical violence, but also to the trafficking or schmackering or whatever it is that they want to call it. If this has happened to you, silence I feel kills you from the inside out. And that's not to say that you need to go say something. But what I will say this will give you your power on some level. So sometimes I know what Cassie alleged in her lawsuit. She said that basically P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, whatever his name is, Shitty Diddy, would basically film her, and he would make her do all of these different, acts with her vagina, her baby maker. Okay. He would make her do these things with these people, and then he would film it, and then he would basically allegedly use that against her. So I say, don't allow, if this has ever happened to you, don't allow, because the perpetrator wants you to be ashamed of that, right? It's like, oh my God, no, it isn't, oh my God, look at what I did. It's, oh my God, look at what you have done. I didn't agree to this. You drugged me. You forced me. This is not consensual, okay? So let me take all of the power out of your head. Yes, it's going to probably hurt your soul to know that your mom knows, now your dad knows, your cousins, your friends, the people you went to high school with, maybe your co-workers, your future husband, whatever. These people are going to know it. But guess what? You remove his power or whomever's power when you say, I don't care. I'll put it out. Come on, let's put it out together. Let me send it to everybody. Try me not. But it takes a lot of strength for people to be able to come forward and to get that power. It doesn't come easy. People are violated all the time. I said earlier in this video, 1 in 4 women will be violated in their lifetime. This is just a fact. And that's based on the statistics of the women that do actually come forward and talk about being as trafficked or human trafficking. A lot of people don't even say it. Why? Because they're afraid, because people will shame them, because people will say they're lying, because people will say dumb-ish like, oh, it's a money grab. It's not a money grab. And even if it is, it needs to be grabbed, because you should keep your penis to yourself. You keep your penis to yourself, then you don't have to worry about somebody making up this lie. I mean, they can make it up, But where's where's your DNA evidence that I was doing all of this kind of stuff? And I already told you. The first thing they need to say if they did it anyways to get out of it is say, oh, it was consensual. So it's going to be difficult to prove anyway, but I can guarantee you this. I'm not going to let you have that power. I'm not. So go ahead and try to go and humiliate me all you want to, but I'm about to take this power right out of your hands. And just remember when after Cassie filed her lawsuit, remember, I'm sure everything that Cassie said in her lawsuit was true and accurate, right? Because 24 hours, that was the quickest settlement I ever seen in life for millions of undisclosed dollars. People who are innocent don't do that. Especially people who have an estimated net worth of $900 million. They're not doing that. Now, he been stringing this lady along, according to her, all these years, harassing her, won't let her. Every time she tried to leave or got away, he would have his goons find her and threaten her and whatnot, right? So if you were going to put it out and you were going to do this, all these things, then why you ain't done it? So finally, Cassie got her wits about her, and she got herself together enough to get an attorney to have to recount all of that stuff. And look how quickly he said, that wasn't me. Y'all trying to destroy me. I'm a good man and a good father. And you want to destroy my image and this, that, and the third. Really? Then he went on, 3 days later after that CNN video went everywhere and said, oh man, it was a dark time. I bet it was. No, it's a dark time now. Yep, it's a dark time now. Because all of your trees that you thought you had lined up in that forest that you thought was so rooted, they've been cut down one by one. Okay? That forest is burning down. Listen, it's over with for this man. At least for now. I don't know if it's going to stick because a lot of these wealthy men, somehow it's like they made of silicone. It just slides right off of them. But I'm glad this stuck. And he's not the first one. And that's why he won't be the last. And that's why I'm doing this. Because I was watching something earlier and I thought to myself, I said, a lot of content creators and a lot of news outlets have been reporting for weeks, months really at this point about Diddy, right? Because Cassie filed that lawsuit literally 10 months ago? No, almost a year ago. Almost a year ago, she filed that lawsuit. So because she filed it in November, I think November 15th. How is it that ever since this hit the fan, and especially once it was confirmed by CNN, I would love for someone to explain to me how Beyonce is a whole woman. And I'm not saying she needs to be accountable for anything her husband has done, but as a woman, and you made a whole song talking about girls, we run this mother, right? You got a whole one, got girls around the world talking about we run this mother, right? You got these women around the world talking about single ladies and how they're empowered, and you a diva, and you a boss, and you this, that, and the third, right? And it's $1 billion on the elevator. You have 2 little girls. One that seemingly, well, actually, both of them are your twins, in my opinion. But after that, you have 2 little girls. And you're, from what the streets are saying, husband's bestie for over 20-something years has been accused of, not once, but multiple times, going all the way back to when he was at Hampton University, of physical violence against women, extreme physical violence. And then I'm certain you saw the video. Stop me when I'm lying about something. How do you not say one word? You have a whole group of people around the world in a beehive swearing and listen, they live and eat on everything you say. How is it that you have nothing to say? Because this wasn't only your husband's bestie. You were right at his parties too. Now, I don't know if she was at the freak offs. That's what is being alleged. She definitely was seen at his P. Diddy's 50th birthday party. And if anything is true in what Cassie said, and I believe every word of it, and all of the words of all of the other women and men who've said that he violated them, I believe it. So if all of that's true, it's all alleged, but if it's all true, how do you remain silent? It's real easy to let go of someone who is literally being raked over the coals. Nobody. If ever there was a time to say I could go against a person I was friends with that maybe I knew was doing some crazy, or maybe I didn't know they was doing anything, nobody would hold you responsible for not being this person's friend, for speaking up on behalf of all of these women that are alleging this man has done heinous acts to, has forced them into these types of sexual engagements. How if right now isn't the perfect time for no one to ever come at you? Nobody would come at your neck. How is this not a perfect opportunity to show your daughters? Because who cares about the people in the beehive? I'm bringing them up because people listen to you when you speak. Okay? So, but let's just put the beehive to the side, right? And all the other people who love you and whatnot. And I don't hate you. Let me be very clear. This is not a Beyonce bashing video. It's not I don't bash anybody. We all, are going to be judged for something. I ain't never going to be judged for nothing like that. Let's be very clear. I want to make that very clear in this distinction, because I have not done anything on this earth that I wouldn't be willing to be judged by God for. Not one thing. Have I done everything right? No. I've spent my whole adult life helping other people. So I've never done anything like that. Not even anything close. I would never. But anyways, that's besides the point. My point is this. I don't understand how you explain to your children, specifically the two girls, but then also the young boy. How do you explain that, hey, mommy and daddy were friends with a very evil person for over 20 years? How do you explain that? How do you explain that you sat silently? Was it Dr. King that said something? It's not and I'm paraphrasing here, but it isn't the voices or the speech of my enemies, but the silence of my friends. And I'm paraphrasing that, but I know Dr. King said something like that. Your real friends hear your silence. They hear when you're being silent. And this isn't a time to be silent, sis. And I get it. Beyonce will make a whole album. That's how Beyonce gonna clap back. Let's be clear. She gonna clap back in her album. But I need you to stand for something, sis. And this is wrong. But this is my opinion as to why Beyonce is never gonna say anything. This is my opinion. It's because she has to know that what her husband, I won't say has ever been convicted of, because I don't think he's ever been convicted of anything. I know he was charged, but I don't know if he was convicted. Or if he was, I'm sure they probably changed the charge. But my guess is Beyonce's logic says, I can't say anything, because the moment I say one word, I have to be willing to say I'm going to walk away from my husband as well and my children's father. And you don't have to be Beyonce to have a struggle with that one. Because I think, especially as Black women, but I think women in general, always want their children to have a father. Even when the father isn't the greatest person, I hear about, I still am not going to, keep him from his children and that type of thing. As if it's not me keeping you from your children. It's you need to be a man, be in your children's life. I don't need to keep you from anybody. Right? That shouldn't be a problem. But you need to be of good moral character. What are you talking about? But again, like I said with P. Diddy, if you didn't know anything about whatever your husband's alleged past is, alleged, And now you know. Or you find out once you throw P. Diddy under the bus, right? So it's two reasons, in my opinion, Beyonce's never going to say anything. A, she participated in, and maybe if what people have said about P. Diddy is true regarding him having videos of people doing things that are compromising, if that's actually true, then if he has, or she thinks, or Jay-Z and Beyonce think they have, or P. Diddy has, anything that's going to tarnish their legacy or their whatever it is, she wants to protect it. So she maybe feels like I can't do that. And the only reason I can think that, I mean, two reasons. One, you want to protect your image and things like that. And we know how important that is to her. I told you earlier, she won't even tell us she's engaged or that she's even in a relationship with this man for what, 6 years or something like that. So I certainly don't expect her to then now say, I'm going to say he's friends with besties with this person over here who's disgusting. And now he's, no longer friends with this person. The other reason could be, and I think probably more understandable reason, is I don't want my kids to know that I participated allegedly in these types of things. I don't want them to see me in that light if, in fact, she and Jay-Z participated in anything. Right? So I am not a parent, but I would assume that if you're a good parent if you have any good moral character fiber, you're probably not going to want that to be exposed, in my opinion. But again, I'll say to Beyonce, if she ever sees this video of any of the people in the Beehive, want to send it to her. The same way I said to the young people who may watch this, or the other women who have been violated in some way, if you know that that person that has violated you has you on video and they're going to try to use it to silence you, you take that power away. Look, I made a video. Me and my husband was drunk. We took some Miley and whatever else it is that you may or may not have done in that man's house or elsewhere, and someone filmed you, unbeknownst to you. And if that happened, then we know that's considered revenge P. So there's a whole nother thing. But again, take his power. Go ahead and take his power away. You already said you got the power to run the world. Isn't that what you said? I think that the lyrics go, my something can build a nation or something like that. Whatever it is that she said in that song. Persuasion. Her persuasion. Beyonce says my persuasion can influence or build a nation, right? She said something like that. Go use that power. Go use your lyrics. Just saying. And listen, I'll stand on it if Beyonce's next album comes out and she is dissing Diddy and doing whatever else. It is all about woman empowerment and she puts everybody on blast. I'll take this whole video down and I'll do a women's empowerment. But I do have a problem with you sitting silently because I do think it's about protecting yourself and or your husband, maybe even your family. That's my opinion about it. That's why I think it's not in her best interest to, because it's not as if it's not logical. I don't agree with it, but I do see the logic in wanting to keep yourself. But this is the thing. So listen, you're Beyonce. When Britney say I'm Britney, bitch. So you're Beyonce. So go be her. Go be all of the things that you say you are in your music and this, that, and the other, right? You're a diva, you're this, that, and the other. Go be those things. What did you sing in that song that Neo wrote? You must not know about me. You must not know about me. So go show us. Beyonce. Ain't that what you said? You said you're a Martian or you're an alien or something like that in that other song. Oh my God. Hold on now. Bellalicious. I don't know if I'm saying that right. She says, morning. Good morning, love. She said, I don't believe Bay was involved in any of this. You okay, Bentley? Sorry. My dog is having lung problems, just like me. She says, I don't believe Bay, or is it B-licious? Oh, that's cute. Is involved in any of this. Maybe her low down, cheating ass husband. leave Bay out of this. So here's the thing. I don't know what time at what point you chimed in, but I have to say, the reason I can't leave her out of it, aside from me being a social worker, a therapist, and knowing and spending my whole entire adult life working in sex crimes and as a social worker with people who are at a disadvantage, specifically girls and women who are at a disadvantage, silence and or knowing something and not doing anything doesn't help anything. That's exactly why P. Diddy, all of the things he's being alleged of doing, which I believe 100%, that's exactly why he was able to continue. Because people are like, well, we shouldn't really, and I'm not saying she did any of those things. What I'm saying is, at this point, if that was one of your husband's really close friends, or at least that's the way it appears, you okay? Okay, sorry, y'all, my dog. It appears that her husband, Jay-Z, and P. Diddy were pretty close for 20-something years. So if that's the case, Bentley, what are you doing? Go. If I wasn't here doing this, he wouldn't care. Anyway, so my thing is this. So even bigger than the Beehive, because I was, making a correlation about, all of the women and the influence that she says she has. This is what she says she has. She has the power to change a nation and influence the nation. And I believe that on some level. I'm not saying she has the power to tell them everything to do, but I'm saying people love her. And she's likable. She has great music. She's a good artist, right? So not knocking her. But what I am going to say is this, right? It's not changing over here at all. I think you have a duty as a woman to work in your own best interest. And at this point, for her, at least, the best interest of your children. So how do you explain to your children, mommy and daddy, or daddy at least, seemingly is highly intertwined with this crazy man over here? You got to explain that to them at some point. And you want to explain to her, she wants to at least be able to explain to her son, which I personally don't even think Beyonce should have to be the one to do it. But aren't we always the ones that have to do it? I'm just saying. But then having to explain to your son why you didn't stand up. Because you're going to have to teach him how to also stand up for women, his wife or whatever, right? Or his daughters. You have to. So I'm not saying that she has to lead the pack. I'm not saying she has to do anything. She can sit over there on her pile of money. She can put in her dues. It's not her fault. But just like as a social worker, I've chosen my career. And as a therapist, I've chosen my career to help people. I had to take an exam and get licensed. And as a social worker, I have the duty to report. So if someone tells me something like they're going to harm themselves or harm others, I have a duty to report that. If Beyonce is saying my employment is going to be making music for the world, right? And I'm going to share my talent with the world, I agree with all of that. If she's going to say I'm going to be a mom, a parent, or whatever, just like Jay-Z, anybody is what I'm saying, then you have to take responsibility at some point for standing up for what's right. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she needs to go on some campaign for the rest of her life, but if you're going to publicly support this person when they're in the good graces of society, when they have undeniable, irrefutable proof that this person that you support or supported for 20 plus years is beating the brakes off of some woman laying in a hallway in a hotel room in a fetal position, then you have to be just as loud as of their opposition when they're in the wrong. And this is the thing. It would be different if it was still allegations, which I believe it even when it was allegations, just because of my history of working with people with these type of issues, meaning people who are trying to figure out their life after they have been psychologically mined by people like Diddy. Just my opinion. So I don't think it's Beyonce's responsibility to try to pick up the pieces of her husband's relationship with this man. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if it was me, I would have to be able to live with myself. And I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I'm making my living by singing to the public about how women power and this, that, and the third, and it's $1 billion on the elevator. And then my husband's friends with this psychopath. And I don't have nothing to say. But I don't have a problem with taking pictures with him. I'm about to take a picture with Donald Trump. If my husband was friends with Donald Trump, and I knew nothing of Donald Trump's treachery. I knew nothing of this man's treachery and all the women and their allegations against him and all the racism and all the other isms. I knew nothing of those things, and my husband was friends with this man, and then I found out 20 years later that he is this person, this even person that he is now. We best believe if I'm publicly out there being this person's friend and whatnot, we all at his parties and at his casino in Vegas, I'm gonna be just as loud and proud about how treacherous this man is. And we are not gonna be in this man's purview anymore. I don't want you around me, my kids, none of that. Now, if I be Beyonce, I'm looking at, was this man? They're girls. And if you could do that to this poor little Cassie lady, I don't know what you could do. And honestly, word on the street is she ain't the only one. Oh, you going off the title. Delicious says I'm going off the title. No, but I welcome differences of opinion. I think that's the way the world should be. It shouldn't all be what Nikki thinks, what Chanel thinks, what Gladys thinks, what Steve-O thinks, whatever. But I just think if you're going to be out loud about, and let me be clear, I think it's interesting because I feel like Beyonce, and this is not off target or off brand for them to be silent. Like I said, Beyonce likes to talk about her grievances in her songs. You can be guaranteed she's going to bring you up in her songs, right? She wrote a whole Lemonade album about Jay-Z allegedly cheating on her, right? So I think she has her way. So I wouldn't be shocked if she made a new album and it talked about some of this stuff. But I just do think that she has to say something. Just like, and I'm not going to put it all on her because that's her husband's friend. I can't be responsible for what this idiot does. That's my husband's friend. And I'm not going to say she's guilty by association, but I am going to say this I wholeheartedly believe. This I believe with every cell in my body is that if many people in the industry supposedly knew about R. Kelly, and many people in the industry supposedly knew about Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Cosby and The Dream and whomever else, all of these savages running around the entertainment industry, I find it highly unlikely and highly implausible that Queen Bee and Jay-Z, who's been in it even longer than her, had no knowledge. Like, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, for real. Please don't tap dance on my intelligence. Don't attempt to do it. You're not going to win. Chanel, she's smart. You're not going to get that over on me. Nope. So while I do believe you could have your head down and focused on your life and your things, because I didn't know about what was going on with P. Diddy and all that, because I'm over here living my best life, taking trips and, shopping at Gucci and getting my whole life together, okay? That's me in my regular Chanel life, okay? Just saying. So before I got onto YouTube, I didn't know all that kind of stuff about, jamming my Bootylicious song by Beyonce and whatever else, or Destiny Child rather, and bumping my, Jay-Z and Kanye and all this, that, and the third. But once I know better, I can't say that I don't. And to me, at this stage, nobody can make me believe that these people do nothing. I would even go as far as to say, if maybe she wasn't even in this genre, like if she wasn't in the music industry, because she's in the entertainment industry in general, right? She's an actress and all that, model and makeup and whatnot, right? Fashion designer. So she's in that entertainment pool. Her primary is music. But You mean to tell me you going to sleep with your husband, like you said on that video? I'm about to go make love to my husband, and your husband ain't never told you about none of his deep dark secrets, or he ain't never told you about none of his friends' deep dark secrets? Fuck out of here. Again, don't tap dance on my intelligence. I know better. I'm married. I've been married for almost 20 years. I know better. So even if she was in another genre and her husband was a rapper, even if she wasn't even in music, even if she was an accountant somewhere, your husband ain't never said nothing to you? Stop it. You don't know nothing about this man that you flying around Jetson and doing all this stuff? Of course you do. Just like all of those people knew. Not everybody, but people in the industry knew about what P. Diddy was doing. All the gatekeepers knew. All of them. And what I mean by gatekeepers are the people in the industry that, as long as you are making them what they love and do not discriminate against, which is money, they don't care. People think they care about the isms. Those things are cared about, but not as nowhere nearly. It's not even in the same hemisphere as money. It's just not. So what they care about is money. So that's how come you can have, in my opinion, Clive Davis. That's how come you can have the Epsteins and the Weinsteins and the Bill Cosbys and the R. Kellys and all of the ones who indulge in the debauchery and stay silent. That's how come you can have it. Because you have all these gatekeepers. And they're going to keep these gates as long as they're getting paid. People who are of good moral standards and fibers, I don't even put it on that. You hang around and stay around like people. If you just want to break it down to your most common denominator, be very clear. Surgeons, and I'm not an elitist or classist person, but they're not hanging around with teachers in general. They're not. They're hanging around other healthcare professionals. Just is what it is. So they're also not going to probably live around teachers. Be clear. I have some friends that are in the medical field and some friends that are married to surgeons, and they don't live in my zip code. They live in the $1 million zip codes around where I live. It just is what it is. You know, the people that work at the Burger King in general, I'm not talking about, or at the Macy's, I'm not talking about the ones that's working there during the Christmas season. I'm not talking about them people for some little extra money. I'm not talking about them. But I'm saying this is their full-time job. Those people aren't going to be hanging around and probably most likely aren't shopping at Neiman's every week because they can't probably afford $1,400 pants like that. I make a decent living. I'm a whole married person. And I can't just go in Fendi every day and buy what I want, or in Chanel every day and buy what I want. I can't. I don't have it like that. Although I know a few millionaires. I've been in the company of a few. But those are not my primary friends. My primary friends are somewhere in my tax bracket. It just is what it is. So you're going to be around like people. So guess who criminals are going to hang around? Other criminals. This is what it is. I can promise you, when P. Diddy was going to go hire his security, he was not going through the proper channels. He was going to get goons. You got to go get those unsavory people because they're comfortable with being around other unsavory people. And that is why I'm making the connection. That's what I'm saying. If you're wholesome, and I think when Jay-Z met Beyonce, she probably was very wholesome. In my opinion, when she met him or he met her and she started dating him and whatever was going on, for however long it was going on, Beyonce was like a baby dolphin swimming in a shark tank. And if you let the streets tell it, i.e. Jaguar Wright, that man, you let the streets tell it. Not only Jaguar Wright, and I don't know Jaguar Wright. I wasn't there. I don't know none of these people. So I wasn't there, so I don't know. And again, everything on my show, on Chanel's Reality, is, in my opinion, is for entertainment purposes. This is all alleged, okay? I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I will say is my opinion, my educated opinion, and my context clues say she was raised with decent human beings. That's what it says. That's what it's giving. It doesn't. Beyonce's upbringing, I know where she grew up. The university I went to school, both universities that I got master's degrees from are in the same area. I have friends that live in that area, and that is a very well-to-do people of color area. Lawyers and doctors and surgeons and whatnot. That's where Beyonce grew up. So I know she didn't grow up around goons, and you can have goons. Let me be very clear. Because listen, Hollywood is full of rich people, and they have all kinds of goons. P. Diddy is a very good example of one. So, but what I'm saying is, I don't get from anything Beyonce's really ever done out loud that she wasn't a baby dolphin when she met King Cobra Shark Jay-Z, in my opinion. I get she was young. He's already in the game. He's going to give her, a little extra cred, whatever it is. I honestly do think this, though. I do think that they were made for each other. If I'm being completely honest, I think they were made for each other, which is why they're still together. But he probably is a little bit controlling. So Ben Licious says they probably won't speak up until Diddy's probably in jail. I agree. Jay won't speak because he has no. I agree. That's really what I was getting at. Delicious says, "Oh, everyone knew and heard about it through the grapevine." And then she says, "I think they may fear Diddy. I mean, he blown up allegedly. Yes, allegedly, and it's too many. Listen, I'll say it like this." And I'm not no type of, I stay all the way in my little lane over here, okay? I believe in, you get you a race car if you want to drive around the Indy 500, but that race car is not going to be equivalent in suburbia where I live, okay? So I'm going to be in my Escalade, okay? My Infiniti or my Lexus or whatever. So I'm staying in my lane, but what I'm saying is, I say that to say, I'm not an investigator, so I don't have all the, like I said before, I am not there. I was not there with those people. I do not know. But what I do know is the streets are saying that Jay have been cricket for a minute. That's what the streets are saying. And they've said that he's worse than P. Diddy. And I'm like, oh, but they've also said that about Clive Davis too, that he's worse than P. Diddy. But let's listen real quick. I wanted to play this guy for you for Kanye, because Kanye say he can't be controlled. Child. Oh, hold on. Let me set it up. Hold on one second. Kanye say I cannot be controlled, okay? Catch it. He said, I ain't gonna be controlled by these people. Is this the one? Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, let's see what you got to say.
Can't control. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Well,
but they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name.
Woo!
It's up.
No, you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but
I ain't gonna play that because I know that he probably gonna say some shady stuff now, and I'm not trying to get struck. Not that YouTube cares about me, because I'm one little person over here. Oh, but I wanted to bring Sloan Bella. I don't know if y'all, I know I talk about Sloan Bella a lot on my channel, but she's a psychic medium, and she talks about, she did a video on, she's done a lot of videos, but she made me a believer. At first, I was kind of like giving her the side eye, like, not because she's a psychic or a medium, because the Bible talks about psychics and mediums and prophets and sorcerers and all this, but it just says from the part of the Bible that I've read, and I haven't read the whole Bible, but the part that I read said, basically, and this is me paraphrasing, God wants to be your source. So he doesn't want these people to be your source. But I do believe that we are a soul that's inside of a human fleshy body, and that whenever our time is up, the soul is not going to be gone. We're going to go, with God or wherever it is that the afterlife is going to take us. That's what I believe. So Sloan Bella, she made a whole video about Jay-Z and Beyonce. I think it's a very interesting one. And she made a correlation Hold on one second. Steven. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. I encourage you to go watch the video. So, but when I first started, I was just kind of giving her the side eye, like, girl, because she had a video on Notorious B.I.G. She also had a video on Tupac, and I love me some Tupac. So I'm very protective. I'm like, I don't know this way. I don't want to know. You know, sometimes you just kind of like, if someone did something that I wouldn't approve of, that I love, I don't even want to know, which is probably where Beyonce is and Jay-Z right now. They're probably like, I don't want to know. But everybody knows now. So, there was a video I played earlier in the video where there's a guy that used to be Beyonce's head of security, or he was one of her security guys, and he says in that video when he's alleging that Beyonce does drugs and Jay-Z keeps her that way and this, that, and the third, I'm looking at him like, why are they doing this to this lady? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And one of the other things he said was something like, and y'all worship who y'all worship. Now, it was one of those things that I heard, but it just kind of, I feel like just was in the back of my consciousness. I wasn't really thinking about it because I didn't really believe him, because I'm like, anybody can say anything out of the side of their mouth, right? I tend to be a person who believes victims, but I don't just believe anything someone says. I'm not an idiot. So that's why I say watch all of Sloan Bella's videos. But before all of this P. Diddy stuff popped off, she also did 3 videos on Kim Porter. And I'm under the impression that lady did not perish under natural causes like pneumonia. I don't need Sloan Bella to tell me that. I've watched enough of the first 48 hours. Like, I'm just saying. So I know that there are ways to unalive people and make it seem like a heart attack or make it seem like something else. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not a medical professional, and I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I'm just saying. So Sloan Bella is going to talk a little bit about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I just want you guys to take a listen on what she has to say, because I find it very, very interesting. Where is it? Which one? Do I not have that one? No, I do have it. It says entertainment. Okay. So let's see.
These people ritually abuse other people, including adult young males on set and younger actors, and they are given license.
Oh, no, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong one. Oh, please.
So these two are together like this, like they fit. Jagged edges, piece of puzzle, they fit. They actually fit together. That's why when I saw online the Pisces rising, I'm like, it's not Pisces rising. That could flip it to the 7th house, but he's more like a 1st house Pluto in Virgo if I saw one. He's blunt, straightforward, speaks like, you know, directly speaks the way that he speaks. Now, what do I see happening with him energetically? I see the next 3 years. So we are in 2024. This is whatever month this is. This is March, the beginning.
She's talking about Jay-Z.
Beginning of 2024. So we are headed for the next 3 years, 25, 26, and 27, with the beginning initial stages of the knockdown when it comes to Jay-Z. He is not next in line. He is second to next in line. I get a real kind of focus between him, Chris Brown, and MC Hammer. Okay, so they're kind of all coming around and they're all linked. We know P. Diddy's going down. So, and that was said by his ex-wife, and that video I did last June. But Jay-Z is a different story because he's still attached to a hierarchy which encompasses financial, political, and just basically public. So he's not absolutely going to be taken down yet. The next 3 years, yes. There are steps where if he doesn't fall into line, he is going to be shaken up. Now, what I do see 3 years from now, him, his wife, and his kid. I don't know if there's more than one kid. There might be more than one kid. I can't remember with everybody who has kids. But anyway, him, his kid, and his wife, I see them with suitcases. And I literally see them leaving. So their residence will no longer be in the United States. This is what I'm seeing. And this happens by 2027, if not sooner, 2025 through 2027. There is a leaving of the energy here, and there is a flipping of his personality. So what I'm seeing is a complete shift in his personality. So what does that mean? It means that on a representative way, so how I present myself outwardly, this changes. So now I change my tune, put on another mask, and I present myself outwardly in a different fashion. He thinks he can escape by doing that. If I present myself this way, the public will see me this way and nothing will happen to me. Now, he's definitely 100% energetically connected to the different hierarchies on the other side. So this man understands metaphysical principles, occult principles, how to use those principles, and how to move through different layers of energy himself. No questions asked. The reason that he is in the music industry is because of his finely tuned ability to walk a line between what you and I see and where they go, which is different, which is why they.
So she goes on to talk about, energy. She talks a lot about energy, and a lot of the people, well, from what I haven't watched all of her videos, but a lot of the people that she talks about in her videos that are still alive, like P. Diddy and Jay-Z and stuff like that, people like that, it's almost as if, at least the ones that I've watched, they have, but see, I was going to say that they have some sort of psychic ability and, or that they're, they play around. I don't know if it's psychic ability, but maybe they may, I don't know the right word to use, because it's not like some people, she says, are into like witchcraft and black magic and stuff like that. And I know nothing of the sort. Okay. But I do know that we have a soul, and I do know that we all, I feel like, are connected by our souls and things like that. And the reason I say that is because it's kind of like the reason that I could not necessarily believe Sloan Bella or whomever it is, a psychic or medium or whomever, a preacher, about certain things that they may have a feeling about, is because we all have a feeling about things, right? So to me, I kind of liken it to, and I don't have any psychic abilities, okay? And I don't want any. But what I liken it to is kind of like, how you could be in a room and let's just say you're at a birthday party or you're in a meeting at work, and y'all are having a good old time, whatever the case may be, and then someone comes in, maybe they're running a little late, maybe they're a guest speaker, whatever it is, and they can come in and they can just change the energy in the room for good or for bad. You know what I mean? Like they can come in and maybe everybody's kind of like scared because it's like they let go of this many nurses last week and we're not sure if it's going to be us this week, or they let go this many call center representatives on the second floor, and what if it's us next, and or whatever the case may be. Or even been in a job interview. You could have a job interview where you have people that are interviewing you and their energy is good, and it puts you maybe in a more relaxed state because you can kind of feel it. And or you have people who are very stoic and you don't know what to think. You're like, whatever. But you could also have a person who comes into the party and they have very negative energy, and you just like, oh my God, you might, I don't, or they come in and you ever met someone where you like, I don't even like her. You don't know this lady from Adam, but she like, something ain't right. Or a guy that maybe your friend, he's her new guy. And you like, I don't like his energy. Something ain't right. I don't trust him. You don't know nothing about these people, but you just know something ain't right. That's kind of how I, in my mind, feel about like the lower level people who might feel something. People that she's talking about, like maybe with Jay-Z, or people who have the ability, maybe they're not mediums, or they're not, what do you call those people that are part of a prophet and things like that? But they may have studied some things, practiced some things. And so that's kind of how I feel like she feels about more like Beyonce. I don't think that's why I also think that Beyonce maybe didn't start out this way. I think she has learned to be this way. That's how I personally feel. And then, but my thing is just be careful what you're playing with. Because you only probably know about this life. You don't know about whatever's going on the other. And I don't want to know. It's like, well, I would love for Jesus to come down because me and Jesus, we didn't had a few conversations. Sidebar. My first conversation this week with Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and God, and all my guardian angels. I'm like, I would like to understand how it is. My husband gave me the Spanish flu, and I ain't went nowhere. Okay, so now I have it, and I'm over here. Child can't breathe. Stressed out, taking antibiotics, and my doctor's like, ma'am, antibiotics do nothing for I'm in there. I promise you. Yesterday, I threw the whole kitchen sink at whatever was going on here. My blood is, not blood, what do you call it? My temperature going up and down. Yeah, I had a whole conversation. I'm in here making chicken tortilla soup. Child, listen, he in there sleeping good. And then this ninja said, can you put on a mask? Listen, I almost came outside my whole body. Okay, let's be very, very clear. No, I love him. He works really hard, so I try to do my best to keep it. Listen, because I don't know what I would do without him. You know what I mean? Yes, he works all of my nerves. He gets on, those nerves that you have on probation. Those nerves. Those are the ones that he just lightly tap dances on. It's like you buy these really nice pillows, and they're decorative pillows for a reason. But men and children somehow have no understanding of what a decorative pillow's purpose is. It's to decorate the couch. But no, they want to sit on it. They want to have it on the floor. They want to play with the dog with it. It just makes you want to lose your mind. And then they gaslight you with it. Oh, those pillows. No, I know the pillow smells like a dog now. So the Febreze ain't enough Febreze. Like, we can't put this pillow in the washer. What are we doing? And then I had to come, to myself, and I had to say, self, this man also helped you pay for these pillows. So technically they his pillows too, but it's all a part of being married for 20 years. That's all I'm saying. I had to learn, listen, I'm going to be in here. He going to be in there asleep. It's not until, listen, it's supposed to be for richer, for sickness and health. It's not. It's just not. So if y'all not married, don't get married. No, I'm joking. No, I do believe in marriage, and I do believe in divorce too. But I do also believe in, try to make it work. But if it ain't working, then, you have your prayer with God, and if that's who you pray to, and try to figure it out and work it out, and try to renew your faith and have him, make you whole again, if that's possible, which I definitely believe is possible with God. But anyway, so I'm not going to play her whole video, but I do believe her. And I say I believe her because of what she said about, she predicted what Cassie was going to do. She didn't say Cassie was going to do it, but she said in one of her videos with her videos, she was having, I guess, a reading with P. Diddy's the supermodel mom, what's her name, Kim Porter. She was having, Kim Porter, I guess, was coming through or whatever, and Kim Porter basically was like, I don't know if Kim Porter said this to her directly or whatever, but she said something is happening. That's what Sloan Bella said. Something is happening in November. She was like, I'm getting November. I think she said November 15th. And I believe that is the day that Cassie filed her lawsuit. Then, and Sloan Bella said that months way before the lawsuit came out. Then Sloan said in that same, she said it in the, I don't know, she may have said this in the same video, but I know the third part, she said that what's happening in terms of the knockdown with P. Diddy, she was like, something's gonna happen in March with P. Diddy. And then they raided his compound in March. So after that, and after watching her Bentley go. And he I don't know if you heard him coughing. I know you can only give him his medicine when you're going to give it to him, but he was struggling earlier. My dog has congestive heart failure and fluid in his lungs, and so he has to drink a lot of water and take this special medication to kind of like get the fluid out of his body. It's very sad, but he's a good dog, and he's very fancy. Okay. Anyway, I'm like, when you gonna grow up and get a job? I mean, when you get a pet, you just realize They don't serve a purpose. They certainly. Well, I love my little Bentley. He's called. I named him Bentley because my husband wouldn't buy me a Bentley. So anyway, but yeah, it breaks my little heart. But yeah, he's not super well, but he's still kind of very rambunctious. He's like a perpetual puppy, in my opinion. But whenever I watched the video that she did with Biggie Smalls, Big Papa, or whatever, who was supposed to be P. Diddy's bestie, child. People have said that allegedly P. Diddy had people take out take out Big Papa, pew pew him or pow pow him. People have said they've accused and alleged that P. Diddy also, Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy Combs, whatever, also was behind the ending Tupac's life. And it's so sinister. If any of this is true, it's all alleged. But because he's P. Diddy's denied it, but he also denied doing anything to Cassie and said it was a money grab. But anyways, so the sinisterness of it was the fact that what was being alleged is that he wanted to take out Tupac because he, like, even before Tupac passed away, after he got pow-powed and pew-pewed in front of, I think it was wherever Big Papa was working that night or something like that. So it made it seem like maybe, you know, or maybe Puff Daddy put it out there like that, allegedly. That's what's been said, that it was rumored that it happened there, and it made it seem as though Big Papa or Notorious B.I.G. had something to do with what happened to Pac before he actually got unalived, like the first time he was pow-powed. So then, and you know, if you believe anything about what Cassie said and others have said about how many people have been unalived in P. Diddy's orbit, then it's not far-fetched to conclude that this sinister thought process led him to say, okay, this is so sinister if this is true. So now we took him out and we can capitalize on that. So I'm going to have my artist, Big Papa or Notorious B.I.G., I'm going to have him write lyrics that imply that I did that to Pac, or that he did that to Pac when he got pew-pewed the first time. And then when Pac was unalived, then there was this East Coast, West Coast beef, you know, at the Source Awards and all this kind of stuff. And it's alleged that Pac had Biggie unalived. I'm not Pac. P. Diddy had Biggie unalived. Now, that's real. That's like next level, darkest part of hell, in my opinion, when you do stuff like that. It's just like, whew. That's all alleged. Allegedly. That's all alleged. But if it's true, what's even more sinister is to then make a song about it, saying "Missing You," and have his baby mama, I think Faith Evans and Biggie had a baby, I believe, sing the hook on the song. How do you sleep at night? You can't have a conscience. Because even if you didn't believe whatever you saw on that video with Kathy, because people still believe it or not, or saying she was lying, or that wasn't him, or whatever it is that people are saying, or she did it for a money grab, or whatever the ignorant statements, soulless, cruel statements that people make like that. If he did that and you still rocking with this man, you probably deserve to be at the same, unless if you're of your life. That's one thing I could think of, that, or you're related to him, because you can't listen. I think when you birth someone out, you although I think you should be able to disconnect from that type of individual. I would definitely, but I'm not a parent, so I don't know. I don't know how you would disconnect from your child. But if that's true, that to me is a different level of evil. And I know people will be like, oh, he's mentally ill. To me, no, that's evil. Mentally, you listen, if you have anxiety, you're mentally anxiety is a type of mental illness. And almost everybody has it. Be very clear. You go on a job interview, you get anxiety. But that's a different type of anxiety. Okay. So let me just be clear about that. But I'm just saying, so when people run around talking crazy about quote unquote crazy people, be careful because you might be in that category one day. So I'm just saying. Shay B says, you are speaking the truth. Thanks, sis. And then we have Miss B Baylicious on here laughing at me. I don't know what's funny. She says, it's been fun, Chanel. Glad to see you have a channel. I know you from Deal Channel. Oh, do you? Have a great day. We'll catch you the next live. Bye, love. I know you'll probably see this later, but you'll be a part of the replay. Thanks for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and get off this live because I am tired and it is 5:36 a.m. And I'm going to try to take some medicine and go to sleep. Okay. But, again, everything on Chanel's reality is alleged. And in my opinion, I'm Chanel. This is my reality. Please, please, please hit the like button. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, share my videos, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about P. Diddy. Let me know what you think about what I think about regarding Sloan Bella, regarding Jay-Z, regarding the charges and the accusations that have been made about Jay-Z and his connections, him and Beyonce's connections to Shitty Diddy Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, and everything else in between. Leave your comments below, and I will see you guys later. Talk to you later. Bye. I'm going to go enjoy. Really, you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to go look at the different things I want for my birthday. That will probably wake me up, and I need to go to sleep, so I probably shouldn't do that. Maybe I'll do that when I wake up. Anyways, guys, talk to you later. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Chanel's Reality. Bye. Every move. Oh, I can't sing that song in such a church. I can't. Bye, guys.